Are you from the trenches?
Am I from the trenches?
You gotta think. What the hell? Why you gotta
think? Because it's a yes or no question, y'all.
Yeah, it's a yes.
My life is difficult.
Okay, talk to me. Tell me why it's difficult.
Alright, so I was raised with my grandma. I lived with my grandma. She had a great house, but in a bad area.
That much how I manipulate the line.
If anybody knows Terra Boulevard, Flint River,
okay,
Clayco, that's where I'm from.
Is King Harris really about to swap his designer fits for a prison jumpsuit? The streets are buzzing heavy with rumors that T.I. and Tiny's son might be on the edge of losing everything. What was once just teenage wild behavior has now turned into real-life consequences. And this time, the courts ain't playing nice. King's latest arrest hit hard because it's not his first, and now the law looks ready to make him an example. People close to the family say the situation's no joke. The system is tired of his antics, and insiders are whispering that King could actually face up to 5 years locked down if things go left.
You're upset. You can't. I know you. I know you. Ain't no mystery, man. I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me? Joking. No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean? You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Man, what is she talking about? Get off me. Man, get off me. Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't you can do with me.
Ty has always tried to steer his son right. He's seen too many young men throw away their lives chasing the wrong kind of respect. He warned King over and over, telling him that the streets don't love nobody and that acting tough can only end one way, in pain or in prison. But King wasn't listening. Now that the consequences are closing in, it's starting to feel like T.I.'s worst nightmare come to life. The thought of his son being trapped behind bars, surrounded by people and situations he's got no business being around, has both T.I. and Tiny losing sleep. Behind closed doors, word is they're in full panic mode, calling every lawyer they know, pulling strings and doing anything they can to protect their son's future. But the streets don't forget, and social media, they're ruthless. Some people online feel bad for T.I. and Tiny, saying it's heartbreaking to see their son spiraling like this. But others are calling it karma, claiming King brought it on himself after all the years he spent flashing on camera, talking like he was really built for the street life. For a lot of folks watching, none of this came as a surprise. The red flags were waving for a long time. King been stacking up controversy like trophies, always claiming he stands on business and lives by street codes that don't even fit his lifestyle.
Well, when you got drugs, it ain't like I know that. When y'all got drugs around those legal guns, they call it's not possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You been around through there a lot, man. You gotta talk.
Remember that viral moment where he almost squared up with his own dad? That clip had the internet going wild. T.I. called him out, straight up telling him he's not from the trenches and never had it rough like he pretends in his raps. He reminded King that most of his childhood was spent safe at his grandma's house, not ducking bullets or dodging the law. But King wasn't trying to hear that. He snapped back, acting like he had something to prove, ready to disrespect his father on camera just to defend an image that ain't real. That was the first time the world really saw how deep King's obsession with being street had gone. Then came the infamous Waffle House mess. King picked a fight out of nowhere with the restaurant staff just trying to do their jobs. He acted like he was untouchable, arguing over nothing and filming it all for the world to see. The video went viral for all the wrong reasons, and people started questioning what was really going on with him. It wasn't just immaturity, it was a pattern forming. Soon after, T.I. had to publicly check both King and Boozie's son, Tootie, after they posted a music video flashing pieces and acting reckless. The set was covered in it.
Give me my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmama, his going to prison. If you got to keep this up, they're going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it.
And insiders even claimed there were other things around that could have landed everyone in serious trouble. Ty had to step in fast, reminding his son that none of it was funny, because if the cops had rolled up that day, things could have gone from music video to mug shots real quick. But King just kept pushing boundaries, brushing off warnings like he was invincible. T.I.'s lectures weren't about clout or control. They came from real experience. Ty knows the street energy his son keeps chasing because he lived it. He's been behind bars, seen the worst of it, and made it out. All he ever wanted was for King to learn from his mistakes, not repeat them. But no matter how many times he tried to get through, King wouldn't listen. He wanted fame, not guidance. He wanted attention, not advice. By late 2024, everything started falling apart for real. One night, King was leaving a gas station in his BMW when he almost crashed straight into a police cruiser. Like he didn't even see it parked there. The cops pulled him over instantly, and the moment they walked up, they said they smelled weed coming from the car. That was strike one. Then they found a firearm inside, weed and a gun. At that point, it was over. They ran his name and discovered he had an active warrant from Pickens County for skipping court. Turns out back in 2022, he was already charged for speeding, driving on a suspended license, and even DUI.
It don't work. Yeah, I think at this point of my life right now, no, I don't work. Like, I don't work, but I did want to get a job. But it's like y'all know me now, and I'm not the type of person, I'm not a friendly ass bitch. So like, you know what I'm saying? All of that, you know what I'm saying? See me at work and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really am not the talkative person, you know? So, maybe like a bottle girl job. Put me on to a bottle girl job where, you know what I'm saying, it be loud in there, so I really don't have to talk to nobody for real, let's say buying a bottle or something. Be a nurse? Nah, I don't want to be that. Not a nurse type of girl. Could be a brand ambassador. I mean, if some brands out there that want me to be an ambassador, then.
But instead of handling it like an adult, he just ignored it. Thought he was too famous to be touched. When that warrant finally caught up, it was game over. King was cuffed up, tossed in the back of a squad car, and booked into DeKalb County Jail before being sent to Pickens County to face the old charges. Just like that, the same kid who bragged about standing on business was standing in front of a booking camera, a harsh dose of reality. Social media tore him apart. The same people who watched him flex on IG now called him out, saying he got exactly what he asked for. For T.I. and Tiny, though, that's their son, no matter what. Seeing him locked up broke them down inside. T.I.'s biggest wish for King was simple: slow down, stay in school, build something real. But King wanted the fast life. He chased fame and validation instead of patience and discipline, and now it's catching up. Every mistake is stacking up, and the people who warned him the most, his parents, are now watching helplessly as he faces the consequences they tried so hard to protect him from. After that arrest, it was clear the warnings T.I. kept dropping weren't just fatherly lectures. They were predictions. King Harris's downfall was years in the making, and now he's watching it play out in real time. The same arrogance that made him go viral is the same thing that's dragging him down. T.I. tried everything, from private talks to public check-ins, but King just kept thinking he could move how he wanted without paying the price. And now, the price tag's looking steep. What made it worse is that T.I. and Tiny thought fatherhood would finally calm their son down. With a baby depending on him, they hoped King would step up, mature, and finally think long-term. But insiders say the opposite happened. King's baby mama allegedly doesn't want to work or stress herself, expecting T.I. and Tiny to cover everything while King continues chasing a lifestyle that's spiraling out of control. Fans started speculating online, wondering if King even has the right people around him or if he's surrounded by folks who just enable his behavior. Everyone's saying the same thing: nobody's holding him accountable, and now the whole family's paying for it. Behind the scenes, T.I. and Tiny are doing damage control nonstop. They're reportedly calling in lawyers, PR teams, and even close family friends to help manage the chaos. But it's too late. The mess is public now. Every headline about King chips away at the image they built. T.I. once stood tall as the voice of reason. a respected rapper who turned his street life into business success, while Tiny was seen as the rock who kept their home strong. Now, their family name is trending for all the wrong reasons, and people are calling them out left and right. You got folks online saying, how you out here trying to school other rappers' kids when your own household is on fire? That one hit hard. T.I.'s been known to give advice to younger artists, but now that his son's in trouble, critics are flipping that narrative back on him. They say T.I. spent too much time preaching to the world and not enough time saving his own son. Tiny isn't safe from criticism either. People accuse her of spoiling King and letting him slide every time he crossed the line. One viral post straight up said, they raised a kid who wanted the streets more than the legacy handed to him. The internet can be cruel, but this time some of those comments hit close to home. Inside the Harris house, things are tense. What used to be a picture-perfect celebrity family is now being painted as a broken empire. King's decisions are cracking the foundation T.I. and Tiny spent decades building. Every post, every smile, every red carpet moment now looks like a cover-up for chaos happening behind the scenes. Insiders say T.I.'s frustrated but trying to stay calm. He's been through scandals before, but nothing hits harder than watching your own child self-destruct in front of millions. Tiny's reportedly heartbroken, trying to keep the family together while also shielding their new grandchild from all the drama. Meanwhile, King keeps acting like the world's against him. He hops online to defend himself, throwing shade at critics, bragging like he's untouchable. But the internet never forgets. Old clips keep popping up, like the one of him arguing with his dad or wilding out in public. Every time a new video surfaces, people drag him all over again. One comment that blew up said, he wanted the streets, now the streets want him. Another fan said he had everything and still chose chaos. It's brutal, but that's how the internet moves. Quick to build you up and even quicker to tear you down. Some folks, though, think this might be exactly what King needs. They're saying maybe a hard reality check, like real jail time, might wake him up. Sometimes you gotta hit rock bottom to learn respect, one user wrote. And honestly, that's what T.I. has been trying to get across since day one. His warnings weren't about control, they were about survival. T.I. lived through those same streets and barely made it out. Now watching King fall into the same traps feels like deja vu in the worst way. Still, not everyone believes this will change him. Critics say King's too deep into his ego, too focused on proving something that ain't real. They claim even a stint behind bars won't humble him, it'll just feed the image he's been chasing. Others say T.I. should stop trying to save him and let him sit there for a bit. Let the silence of that cold cell teach him more than any speech could. Sometimes love looks like letting him fall. One viral tweet read, and maybe that's the harsh truth T.I. and Tiny are struggling to face. At the same time, the memes and jokes online are ruthless. Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram are flooded with side-by-side clips of King talking about standing on business next to his mugshots. Fans are clowning him, calling him the Silver Spoon Soldier, and mocking his tough talk. Even old interviews are resurfacing where he downplayed his parents' warnings, and now they look like haunting echoes of everything he ignored. Some fans even dug up that Waffle House video again, replaying it as if it was the start of his downfall. The public's not just laughing, they're dissecting every move like detectives, turning his whole life into entertainment. And the craziest part, King's facing two battles at once, one in the courtroom and one online. The legal side is serious, but public opinion might be even harsher. When the internet decides you're the villain, it's hard to flip that narrative back. T.I. and Tiny's names are now being dragged right alongside his. Their family brand, once seen as hip-hop royalty, is now being labeled as another Hollywood family falling apart. It's not just King on trial, it's their whole legacy. T.I.'s credibility as a father is being questioned, Tiny's parenting is being criticized, and King's every move is under a microscope. Their once glamorous empire, built through TV shows, music, and fame, is turning into a cautionary tale about how fast things can crumble when the spotlight shifts from success to scandal. Behind the flashy posts and interviews, the Harris family is facing one of the hardest chapters of their lives. And for King, the clock's ticking. He's not just fighting for freedom, he's fighting for redemption. Right now, King Harris's story feels like a live movie playing out in front of the whole world. Every move he makes becomes a headline, every mistake becomes a meme, and every apology turns into another comment war online. T.I. and Tiny are trying to hold their family together, but it's like watching a castle crack from the inside out. They've spent years building their empire, branding themselves as hip-hop's power couple. But all it takes is one scandal, one mugshot, one viral clip to shake that image to its core. Behind the flashy smiles and luxury homes, insiders say the Harris family is exhausted. They're trying to project unity online, but the truth is their image is bleeding. Fans used to look up to them. They were goals, the perfect balance of fame, family, and hustle. But now, people are calling them out, saying they failed their own son while pretending to be role models for everyone else. It's rough. T.I.'s out here trying to teach lessons he already learned the hard way, and Tiny's trying to protect her baby boy like any mother would. But when your child becomes a public figure, especially for the wrong reasons, there's no protecting them from the court of public opinion. It's crazy because deep down, King isn't some lost cause. He's just stuck between privilege and pressure. Growing up with famous parents gave him everything most kids dream about: money, fame, opportunity. But that same privilege came with weight. The world expected him to be great, to follow in his dad's footsteps, to keep the family name shining. Instead, he tried to carve his own identity by leaning into chaos, chasing street credibility like it was a badge of honor. The more people told him to chill, the louder he got. The more his dad warned him, the more he rebelled. It's like he wanted to prove that even with all that privilege, he could still stand on business. But now, reality's knocking hard. Jail time, court dates, and constant public judgment. This is the side of street life nobody brags about. The same fans that used to hype up his confidence are now clowning him for being reckless. The same people that watched him argue with his dad are now replaying those clips, calling them the moment he lost his way. Some are even saying this whole downfall is poetic justice, that T.I.'s been preaching accountability for years, and now he's forced to face it at home. But for the Harris family, this isn't entertainment. It's pain in real time. Even Tiny, who's always tried to stay out of drama, can't escape it. Social media is calling her too soft, saying she never checked King when she should have. Some folks claim she enabled him, thinking she could protect him forever because of who his parents were. But none of that matters now, because the system doesn't care about fame, followers, or who your daddy is. The moment King stepped into that courtroom, all the flash and clout faded. He wasn't a rapper's son anymore. He was just another young man being judged by his actions, and still the internet keeps spinning the story. Fans, blogs, and gossip pages are glued to every update. Some people are betting on his downfall. Others are rooting for his redemption. They want to see if King will finally grow up and use this as a wake-up call, or if he'll double down and sink deeper into that I don't care mindset. Because at this point, it's not just about proving himself to his dad anymore. It's about proving himself to the world. T.I.'s heartbreak is written all over his face every time he's asked about King. He doesn't talk like a celebrity now. He talks like a father in pain. He's been trying to stop history from repeating because he's been that young man before, locked up, thinking the world was against him. T.I. spent years trying to turn that pain into purpose, teaching through music and mentorship. But now, all that wisdom is being tested at home, watching your own son fall into the same traps you escaped from. That's a pain no parent can prepare for. And while T.I. tries to play it cool in public, those close to the family say he's torn up inside. Tiny's reportedly been crying nonstop, and the energy in their home is tense. Every call from a lawyer, every news alert feels like another punch to the gut. Their family brand, the one that stood for unity and hustle, is now the center of gossip. But even through all that noise, there's still a chance for redemption. Because here's the thing, every empire goes through storms, every legacy hits rough patches. It's how you come back that defines your name. If King can take this moment, humble himself, and rebuild from it, the Harris family might come out stronger than ever. But that depends on him finally growing up, letting go of the fake image, and realizing he doesn't need to prove anything to the streets. His dad already lived that life and barely made it out. His mom fought to build a family that could break generational curses. Now, it's on King to decide if he wants to continue that legacy or destroy it, trying to impress people who don't care about him once the cameras stop rolling. The internet's loud, the fans are divided, and the Harris name is being tested like never before. Some say this is the fall of a dynasty. Others think it's just the painful part of growth. Either way, one thing's for sure, this story's far from over. Ty, Tiny, and King are learning that fame doesn't protect you from reality, and sometimes the realest lessons come from the hardest falls. Whether King Harris rises from this or lets it define him will shape how the world sees not just him, but the entire Harris legacy. So what do you think? Will King finally learn from this and flip his story around, or is he too deep in his ego to change? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment, because this saga is only getting wilder and you don't want to miss what's next.